Okay, this is going to be a fairly short section. We're going to talk about developmental theories. There are several theories of development, and we're going to talk about how those theories apply in infancy. You need to know what Freud's psychosexual theory is. A lot of it has actually been reevaluated, but you're going to hear about this theory. So according to Freud's psychosexual theory, infants are in the oral stage and they seek pleasure through oral activities. Basically, that's a way of saying that babies put everything in their mouths, right? They're eating, they're sucking, pacifier or a thumb is calming to them. When they get older, they start to put everything in their mouths. Erickson's psychosocial theory has also been questioned, but it is still much more widely used, and it is very helpful in a lot of ways in healthcare. So according to Erickson's psychosocial theory, infants are in the trust versus mistrust conflict. In that first year of life, they develop either a general trust in the world as a safe place or a mistrust that they feel the world is not safe. So how can families and healthcare professionals promote a development of trust in the world as a safe place? Infants' basic needs should be met, and they should be met relatively quickly in early life. As they get older, in later infancy, then delayed gratification, waiting a couple of minutes to eat while the parent finishes making dinner or finishes preparing the meal or whatever, can help develop delayed gratification. Delayed gratification actually is connected to trust. If you have the ability, if you know that your need will be met, it's easier to wait for that to happen. If your needs have not been consistently met, then when there's a delay, that promotes fear that, okay, it's not going to happen again. So delayed gratification actually develops as the child's needs are met. So trust versus mistrust is basically about meeting infant needs. Piaget's cognitive development theory, infants are in the sensory motor stage. They learn primarily through their senses. They're exploring everything with all their senses. Infants progress from reflex activities to repetitive behavior to initiative behavior, which is deciding to do things. In infancy, they learn cause and effect. They can learn, I hit this button and it makes noises and lights. I cry and someone picks me up and comforts me. They learn cause and effect. They tend to be very curious and explore their surroundings a lot. They enjoy novelty. They enjoy new things, not the same thing every day. They begin to develop a sense of self. They don't really have a good sense of who they are as separate from others until later on, but they begin to develop a sense of themselves. Around, I believe it's around 9 or 10 months, they develop object permanence. They understand that if an object is not in sight, it still exists. Until they develop object permanence, the pen is here, the pen is gone, it doesn't exist anymore. And so you can test that by covering an item up. And if they try to remove the cover, they understand that the item is still there. They begin to use language, and language is symbolic. They're using a sound or a sign or something to indicate a thought or another item. So they begin to use some language. Attachment to the parent or caregiver in infancy, to a parent or a caregiver, is absolutely essential to developing trust. They have to have attachment to some person. Colbert's moral development theory is based basically on what makes something right or wrong. Infants are in the pre-conventional level, begins in the later part of the first year. In early infancy, infants do not have a sense of right or wrong or morality at all. Late in the latter part of the first year, as they move toward being toddlers, they begin to develop that something is good or bad based on the consequences to themselves. So they can begin to learn, when I touch the TV, that's bad because it causes some consequences. Infants are completely egocentric, though. They are not able to conceptualize a person outside of themselves. So they have no understanding when they hit someone or kick someone or bite that that's causing pain to the other person. They don't understand that the other person is a person like they are. They don't have the ability to understand that. And it's really important that we help parents understand that infants don't have the ability to think of that other person as an actual person. It's not there yet. They develop that later on. Okay, so we're going to move in the next section to some general developmental milestones.